next review of Power Rangers Dino Fury. Episode 14, Old Foes. Still crazy that they're still pushing the whole NFL. Kids should love NFL. We have the show now. Kids should love NFL. And it's like, oh, good Lord. Ah, man. So this is the episode where we actually get to have the reveal that Lord Zedd is alive. Or he has been resurrected from the dead. And they did not use the technique we saw in Beast Morphers, of course, because it was destroyed. Yeah. So instead, they use a magical technique. First things first, we get to see Void Knight's base. And we see this mysterious cloaked figure walking in, getting a Sporex or two. Yeah. It's like, it's not really, you can see hints of it, but you don't really see him until all of a sudden, as soon as Void Knight's like, hey, what the frick is this? And then here we go, and there is Lord Zedd, and they put a shiny gloss on him, which is like, yeah, that shiny moment, that was pretty cool, I suppose. And then they just showed how capable that Lord Zedd is. Even though it's like, yeah, where the hell is his staff? It's like, yeah, remember his staff is maybe in Coral Springs or whatever, it's like, it's in Battle Grid, chances are. It's like they took all his weapons. They took all the evil weapons. So yeah, there he is, and he's using Void Knight. He's going to use Void Knight's saber to defeat him, but it's like, nope, then we have this sorcerer of some sort, and the sorcerer's like, stop! And I guess at this point, it's good to actually look, because it blended in nicely that apparently he has the same collar on as Fargoyle, so he has the same collar of O'Bane, and yeah, something like that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, you just showed the ability to do magic. Yeah, but still though, it's just something how, there it is, and they showed the collar. It's like, apparently I had missed that point. It was like, yeah, the collar actually blended in, and if you're not watching, well, who cares? And it looks like for Void Knight, it's like, no, you're not going to get to have any of these. If you want these, you're going to have to defeat the Rangers. Yeah, get them out of our obstacle. And meanwhile, you have the guy who's a magician summoned back a few of the old monsters again. So we have, of course, Wolfgang and the other lizard dude. And it's like, yeah, some other one. So that was the deal. And you gotta admit, look at him. Look at him. He's kind of intimidating a little bit. He does have some skeletons around him, this sorcerer. It's like, jeez. Now we finally get to cut to Buzz Blast. Oh, there's Jane and J-Borg right there. They're only background characters. Ha, 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 ha. They don't get to do any skits. Meanwhile, the Rangers just talking about their costumes. You have Amelia, who actually is a vampire, and Ollie just plays with her. And it looks like Javi's gonna dress as their dad, and it's like, whoa, didn't you see our dad's dance moves? They're kind of scary. Yeah, I forgot what Izzy's gonna dress up as, and Zato has to figure out what, because, well, he's the customs, this new customs, and he's like, oh, I could dress as a boxer. He's like, no, we'll help you figure out a costume. Of course, Ollie apparently already knows what he is, and I didn't notice that, which he's gonna be a astronaut. So yeah, they're gonna have a Halloween party, and you would figure that this is a Halloween episode, ? It's like, no, but it's like a Halloween episode. It is like a Halloween episode, and it's kind of like, good Lord. Oh man, hold on, let me do something. Of course, it sucks, but anyways, yeah, it turns out that, yeah, this is the part where Ollie is like, nothing can scare me. I'm not to be scared. So you're just like that girl from You Can't Scare Me. Yeah, and then they actually said, okay, game on. All four of us are going to make something to scare you. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's going to fail. So the four of them are just going to go and plan. And kind of funny that Zato still has that cardboard box over on him. And it looks like they actually made the haunted trail. And they have some boxes. No, they have one box and some bags, but that doesn't matter. So anyways, what they did is actually just say, hey dude, go in there. Let's see if we actually can scare you. And yeah, haunted trail. It's like, yeah, really? Haunted trail? It's like, whatever. So he's like, yeah, we're gonna so scare him. Indeed, yeah, we did a good job. We scared him. Meanwhile, you have a freaking Sporix beast showing up, one of the resurrected ones. The Rangers morph. They quickly morph and they actually are ready to strike. And then I think, yep, from behind we have Lord Zedd, Wolfgang, and the Sorcerer, and they throw these, in quotations, magical cuffs that actually is draining their powers, which is like, oh. It seems like they're draining their powers. Yeah, they're making them useless and weak. It's like, and I was like, huh, so did they actually use his thought? Not really. You didn't really do it because it was Rita who actually did it. And anyways, they counted, there's 4 of them. Now they're going to go after Ollie. Meanwhile, Ollie actually is going through the haunted trail. Now, let me just say one thing is that when it comes to Lord Zedd, though, it's like, it wasn't Lord Zedd, it was Rita that had the candles. But I think he knew how to do it too. And I was like, that's kind of the thing that they're doing right here, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Skeleton jumped down. He wasn't afraid, but damn, that skeleton cost like close to $200. So he sees the 2 Sporix beasts and he tries to tell them, hey guys, is this some kind of joke? Are you guys there? And he's like, oh, well, apparently this is for real. And he's like, yeah, okay, fine. It's for real. Let me morph. And it's like we get to see a real close-up of the Blue Ranger morphing without scrunching it up. So that's kind of nice. It's like, yeah, it's like anyone who actually wants to do this interesting part and make it as a YouTube short, it's like, looks like the episode for you. If you're able to get this episode, you cut this piece out, shorten it to the point of where it's a YouTube short. I think people will be liking it. Yep. So we have those 2 going against them, and it's like, I remember you. And of course, I'm like, I was thinking about Wolfgang. It's like, yeah, you gave him a lozenge, and well, he took down a skeleton that's supposed to jump down and scare him. Oops. Anyways, yeah, so Wolfgang is gonna get taken down by a lozenge. We know that, we know that much. All right, yeah, here he is. It's like, yeah, I remember you guys. And it's like, yeah, so we reverse back, and Wolfgang tries to hit him, and poor skeleton. Yep. So I think, yeah, he actually summoned Solon, and Solon does have a lozenge. And here we are with the first part of the clip show, where we get to see Amelia and Izzy battling him, and he was able to actually depower them from power-up mode. And then they remember Mick in the lozenge, and here's, yeah, and don't forget about Boom Tower. Yeah, he's gonna come back soon. As soon as he comes back, I will have a action figure review for him. It's like, yeah, I think it's better to do that than, So he calls Solon, and Solon arrives, and yep, they have a lozenge just in case. And flunk, and wins in his mouth, and now he is depowered yet again. Meanwhile, the other one is like, yeah, whatever, let's get him. And Solon's like, I'll be here for emotional support. And it's like, come on, Solon, I'm pretty sure you could fight. It's like, yeah, but do we really actually need choreography for him? So he destroyed Wolfgang and he destroys the other one. Like, lickety split, doesn't even need to have a Dino booster key. But lo and behold, they resurrect themselves. What? Yes, a brand new trick. Since they got resurrected this way, they're now back, which means technically even Lord Zedd can do this too. So it's like, yeah, Lord Zedd is even more overpowered, because it's like, not only if you try to defeat him and explode him, it's, oh yeah, he used the booster key of some sort. Hold on one second. All right, he used the spin key. Yeah, it doesn't even say the spin Dino booster key or the spin Dino key. It's like, no, just the spin key. Whatever. Anyways, he gets the other one and he spins the other one to make him dizzy. And then he used... Crap, hold on. He used the lasso Dino key and took them both out for the second time. And, well, of course, it does not stick. Yeah, but we don't get to see that. Yeah, he just goes to the Rangers, and Solon is... Actually, no, they're both there, and they actually talk, and it's like, look what's going on. And, of course, you see Lord Zedd, the sorcerer, and the four are surrounded, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's Lord Zedd. And it's like, yeah, so let's try to remind the children what Lord Zedd is capable of. One second. Right, anyway, so ideas of how to defeat Lord Zedd. First, he was actually going to go to Lord Zedd in hand-to-hand combat, one-on-one, and, well, Solon's like, no. And Lord Zedd is a little bit unhinged, considering he would destroy the other Rangers since the guy just transported, but Solon transported him anyways. The idea was, let's get a Zord or a Megazord, unleash it, and go against Lord Zedd. And you're like, oh my gosh, no. He's so powerful that releasing the Zord would be a mistake. He's able to take down a Zord too. So apparently Mick actually left them the drive, and here we go with this, where we have another clip show where we actually get to see Lord Zedd. First time we get to see Lord Zedd actually turning a rock into a beast. He even made the world go back in time and turn the Rangers into kids. And not only the Rangers, but he looks like he turned the whole entire school. Oh, not the school, that class into kids. Oh, wait a minute, what? It's like, yeah, it's like, what about those guys? It's like, oh, wait, hold on. And of course, he had Serpentera. He had his own Zord, Serpentera. And they showing Serpentera blasting through stuff. And of course, they don't even know that it's the Red Ranger fighting against him. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you had a big freaking Zord. Big Zord. Where's the Zord today? Good question. Oh yeah, he also drained the powers of the Green Ranger, of Tommy. And he actually made his own Rangers. And they look sucky looking, but of course, it's the stock stuff that they have. So it's like, yeah, frig it, we just make it look like this. And it's like, you do have a question though. If they did actually have like the money to make new suits, would they still go with the look of that? Or would they actually be cool enough to make, I mean, even when it comes to virtual reality, they actually did do the whole thing of, yeah, ta-da, we made suits for you guys. Anyways, yeah, they also show the last time we ever see Zordon, and we see Andros have to make the great sacrifice, or technically Zordon make the great sacrifice, and they called it the Zordon Energy Wave. Even though, like, it's better to call it the Zordon Sacrificial Wave, okay? Or the Z Wave. It's like Z Energy Wave now. It's like, that's kind of stupid. And then they showed that the wave turned Rita into a woman, and Lord Zedd is like this preppy white dude. And it's like, yeah, well, did they take this white dude and revert him back? No idea. But they're trying to find out the weakness of how to defeat Lord Zedd, and it's like, yeah, well, we can't do the energy wave again, and yeah, so they're completely stuck. But he did notice that Lord Zedd does not like to be bossed around. We'll talk more on the inquiry about this whole entire bossed around part, because technically it's not true. It's not exactly true. Of course, he looked at the collar, and yes, he noticed that, yes, he's getting commanded by the collar, and then he looked Vargoyle, which we have another clip show. It's like, good Lord. It's like, how many clip shows are there in all? It's like, I think there's just a few. This is the last clip show that they need to actually be like, yeah, so, yeah, you remember what they did? You remember all of this? It's like, yeah, that's what happened. It's like, yeah, there we go. And it's like, okay. So he has a plan. Yeah, Ollie created the plan of getting rid of shock collar. Such a command collar will actually allow Lord Zedd to be free again, and he won't be under the sorcerer's rule. And of course, Fungus shows up, and I mean, Fungusy shows up, sorry. It's like Fungusy shows up, and well, yeah, she talks a little bit. Hold on, I think I should go back in 1 second. It's pretty funny that when it comes to Fungusy, she was like, there's only 4 Rangers. Okay, well, the last Ranger coming in, I'm gonna squash him like a bug. I'll take him down. And then as soon as he shows up, he's like, oh, never mind. We good. It's like, yeah, that was pretty funny. It's like, see, don't need Jane and Jay Borg. It's the fun moments. It's the funny moments that counts. Jane and Jay Borg, you just force stuff like that. Don't need it. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I remember how he did it. He basically said, hey, I have a trick that I learned from Australia. So you have the Dino dagger. And it's like, again, that should have been packaged in. So he used the Dino dagger as a boomerang, and of course Lord Zedd dodged it and didn't know that the boomerang comes right back and took the collar off of him. Yep. And somehow he was able to get the Dino dagger returned to him. He was almost like, what, by rebound? It's like, y'all guys should at least think of it. But anyways, Lord Zedd has a bone to pick with the damn sorceress. It's like, oh, you bastard, how dare you control me? And it's like, oh, shoot. And Fungusy is like, and they both teleport, and Lord Zedd's like, what's the deal with people teleporting? Don't you guys used to fight hand to hand anymore? It's like, man, that's harping back to what Adam said once. And then you have the 2 Sporix beasts actually going against Lord Zedd. It's like, yeah, 2 Sporix beasts going against Lord Zedd, and he was like, oh shoot. Yeah, it's like yeah, the Rangers actually have to team up with the Sporix beast. And I'm like, whoa, really? It's like, yeah, the Sporix beasts don't really deserve it. And there they are getting punched like very, very powerful by Lord Zedd. It's like, oh shoot, he got a power punch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have a power punch back then, but well, frick it, he got a little bit dressed up now. So now the Rangers are gonna go against Lord Zedd along with the Sporix Beast. This should be something good, but instead it's kind of like, it's like, yeah, the Rangers are getting knocked to the side by freaking Lord Zedd. It's like, yeah, it's like Red and Black Ranger, they have him hold him down, and then Pink and Blue try to slash him, and they all just try to freaking tackle him. And you don't even use the power-up forms either. It's like, yeah, they don't even do that. And Lord Zedd is just like, screw y'all guys. I guess I'm gonna get out of here for now, but I'll be back or some kind of crap. I don't. It's like, yeah, it's like, so he just basically just, I don't even know. It's like, how did he that's just teleportation? And of course, well, the 2 Sporix beasts are like, we'll turn big and go against you. It's like, oh, great, really? A forced Zord battle? It's like a forced Zord battle. And this one actually was done low tech, because instead of being like, we got the Blazing Zord, frigate, Blazing Zord, let's take him out. No, they're like, we're gonna bring the Megazord out, but the Megazord will be the triangular formation. And I bet that's the wrong way I say it, but it's like, yeah. They just got the 3 Zords out. Just 3 Zords, and they go against them. It's kind of crazy that the Zords themselves actually could have took them out themselves somewhat. You know, you have the T-Rex Zord, Champion Zord shooting at him, the Tricera Blade and Anglio Hammer Zord both just hitting him. And it's like, yeah, I think if you just continue on with that, you don't really have to even use the Megazord, but Megazord. Yep, Megazord. And of course, again, like I said, they're using the Blue Rangers version of the Megazord. It's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense anyways, somewhat. I think this is like a quick match anyways. It's like, yeah, it's not really such a quick battle. It's a battle, but it's not that quick. Yeah, and it's like, look how agile the Megazord is. And then of course he summons the Mega Fury Blade or whatever. He's like a saber or something like that. He's like, I don't really care. It's like, again, like, freak it. You guys should have just allowed the freaking saber that he has, the Chroma Saber, turn into the Mega Fury Blade. Don't just put it down and just, what the frick. Anyways, yeah, we have Void Knight, and Void Knight is talking to the sorcerer, and he's like, you know what, sorcerer? You're gonna go into this jail cell. And it's like, he has a jail cell? It's like, yep, he has a jail cell that is holding him until the time comes where he can use him again. That's kind of laughable, being like, oh, well, that sucks for you, man. Meanwhile, as for the Rangers, they're just figuring out what they're wearing, the final touches. So Ollie is the astronaut, Amelia is a vampire, and we have Izzy, actually a leprechaun, and Javi is the zombie version of their dad. And of course, it's like, that's pretty awesome. You have Zato in a knight's armor, and it's like, I think it's legit knight armor. It's suitable. It's suitable. It's good. It's like, yeah, so instead of going with his original knight gear, he's wearing gear that's happened in medieval ages. And of course, they talk about how Ollie's not truly that scared, but he was kind of fearful for his friends being caught and stuff like that. So there's a little moment of a lesson of the day, but it's like, it's just reflections, and I don't think that's that bad. It's not that forced. And it's kind of cool that in the end they all teleport. Yeah, that's kind of nice. That, yeah, they all just show the teleportation. That's pretty awesome. Anyways, there you go. I will still have to say that when it comes to, let me just try to restart it. Yeah, I'm gonna restart it so I can actually watch it again, because, well, like, But in anything, the thing is this, is that Lord Zedd's voice was horrible. I definitely will rant about it in the inquiry, which I just needed time to cool down too, but no, it needed to be said. And I will have to say that it will eventually get to the point of where I'm used to it, but I would just say the intensity of his voice is not there. Not to mention, if you continue using the same people who voice the other monsters to voice him, it doesn't seem that, and it's like, you guys should have did something with his voice to make it a little bit more oomph, and you didn't do it. And it's like, as if, oh, frick it, would just get someone to voice him, oh, that's good enough, there we go. And I'm like, no, that's not good enough. Excuse me. I mean, you guys are a big company, right? You have all the tracks of the past of freaking Lord Zedd speaking. I don't see how you couldn't actually just make some kind of little ditty up and be like, yeah, there we go. We have this voice enhancer that kind of sort of makes him sound like Lord Zedd a little bit more. And it's like, there you go. That's easy. There you go. Didn't do it. And it's kind of funny that it's like still bittersweet. You don't get to really see the Rangers go against Lord Zedd. And it's like, yeah, well, I didn't want these Rangers to go against Lord Zedd. It should have been Mighty Morphin going against Lord Zedd in the final battle. But of course, the crybabies. Thanks, jerks. Anyways, yeah, we'll see what happens next time. And welcome to Netflix season. Yep. We're now counting down to 8 more. Well, technically 7 more. 7 to 8 more. 7 to 8 more episodes before we all have to say goodbye to Nickelodeon having Power Rangers. Yeah, some actually enjoy it, be like, yay, hip hip hooray. But it's like, yeah, for me, it's like, oh, great. Well, gonna have to actually watch it illegally now and not actually contribute to, the viewing, because it's not on TV anymore and I don't want to bend the knee on Netflix.